Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to Meet the Candidates. For this year's election, I know it's super different, everything's virtual, but this is a really great way for you to really get the personalities and all the people that are going to be on this year's ballot. Quick reminder that Election Day this year is going to be on March 2nd, and voting is going to be open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on PIT/SGB elections, and we will send the link at the end, and it will be advertised very much throughout the next 2 weeks. But I'm super excited for you to meet everyone. And actually, I think that we will just get started with our first candidate. So first, Harshita, could you turn on your camera? We can start. Awesome, thank you so much. I'm gonna take a second to move people around so you're like next to me on my screen. Okay, great, awesome. Okay, so first of all, thank you so much for being here. And first, just a quick question. This will be a Q&A between us. Tell me your name, your pronouns, your hometown, and your major.
Hi everyone, my name is Harshita Ramanan. I'm a neuroscience major and I'm a sophomore here at Pitt, obviously. My pronouns are she, her, hers. My hometown's a little bit complicated. I've moved around my entire life, but I went to high school in California and my parents now live in Texas.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy. How'd you end up at Pitt?
I just kind of wanted to like get away from the West Coast, see something new, because I'm used to like moving around to like a different country every 4 years. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to see something new.
Oh wow, oh my goodness. Well, first, did you have a favorite country?
I was in Dubai, Bahrain, and England. So those were like different stages of my life. So I definitely don't think I can say I have a favorite because like for one of them I was a baby and the other one I was like in middle school. So yeah, definitely different stages of my life, different memories.
Okay. Well, really amazing, very worldly candidate we have here. So speaking of which, you're running as a presidential candidate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me why. What are you passionate about? Why do you want to run?
I immediately after I started school here, I like got involved with RSA because that was sort of like the first thing that popped up, and I was like, hey, like I would really like to be involved in school and see like what things are happening, because like obviously being a freshman is super intimidating because like a college campus is very different from a high school campus. There's like a lot more to do here. So I figured that'd be a good opportunity to get started off. And like the more I got into it, the more I started realizing, hey, like I really want to make a difference, because obviously no school is perfect and Pitt is like far from perfect, but it's still amazing. And I want it to be like an amazing experience for everyone else. Because I made like some of my best friends here. I'm in RSA. I'm actually the vice president of programming on the e-board. So like doing all that stuff has been absolutely fantastic. I love being a part of ResGov, but I really want to run as a presidential candidate because I realized that a lot of my focuses have been more so on the wider school community instead of just res life. And so I think this would be like a good transition to get some of the things I would like to see done actually done on a different platform.
That's awesome. I mean, you're so involved. That's really great. Well, less about that, all this professional stuff. So if I were to open your phone right now, what would be the last app open?
Probably Instagram or my text messages. Can't remember which one. I'm definitely like I'm very social, so I'm like always like talking to my friends, especially because of the pandemic. Obviously not everyone's on campus this semester, and like I said, I've traveled a lot, so a lot of my friends are in different countries, so we kind of use like Instagram and stuff to keep in touch. So I'm usually like messaging people on different mediums.
That's so fun. That's awesome. I mean, no surprise, this isn't going to be a shock for anyone. We've been in a global pandemic. I mean, you're saying you're connecting with people by being on your phone, Instagram, stuff like that. But you know, we were in quarantine a while ago, back in March, almost a year ago. Did you have a
Mhm.
quarantine show or quarantine hobby? And if so, what was it?
I wouldn't say this is necessarily a new hobby, but definitely like after being in college and living in towers, I really miss the kitchen. Like I miss cooking. So I pretty much spent like a long time like cooking, like sort of like 8 to 5. I would make like 10 different things. I've perfected my apple pie recipe. So that's definitely been a thing. And my pizza crust. So, yep, I guess those would be my like 2 hobbies from this last quarantine.
Wow, I mean that I would love. I think I need proof before I
I'd be
could
happy to cook for you. I love baking pies.
That's amazing. Another question: do you have a favorite Disney movie or Disney character, or like one that you like? Oh, if I was a Disney character, that would be me.
I think like recently, especially with the live action movies, it's very hard to choose. But going back to the classics, like from when we were little kids and things were like poorly animated, I think Cinderella would definitely be my favorite. Obviously, like it's very old. There's obviously things that we know now about it as adults and we perceive that make it different. But I think the reason I like it so much is because of just like its simplicity. Like even though she was put in a hard situation, she came out of it as a better person. And obviously, again, you can view the movie as what you would like to see it as, but I just choose to see the good in it. So yeah.
That's lovely. I love wanting to see the good in things. That's a fantastic take, and it's a great movie. Okay, so one question is, you're running for president, you have all these things that you really want to do, you want to make a change. Why do you think that you need to be president in order to do that? Or why do you want to?
I feel like right now, just like having been in another governmental role, I feel like at the end of the day, it's usually like the people, like the person that calls the shots, even though like as a leader, you're supposed to listen to like the majority, it tends to be like the president or the vice president. And I just feel that being in this role would allow me to like see things I want to see done, because I feel like a lot of problems with most like governmental committees is like you talk so much that you never get anything done. And I've never been that person. I kind of just like do a lot less talking and then a lot more doing. That's just kind of been like my whole life motto, mostly because I've had to kind of grow up that way, because get like conversing all the time doesn't really get you anywhere when you have to adapt to a lot of situations super quickly growing up. So yeah, I think that's why I would like to be a presidential candidate and hopefully president, mostly because I feel like I can execute like really well and while still listening to the majority.
Awesome. That's really amazing. And finally, if you wanted people to walk away with like a summary of you or summary of your campaign, um, what would you want that quick summary to be?
I guess my quick summary is I make no promises. I understand that like even though student government board is really big, at the end of the day, it's like I guess like the real adults that are calling all the shots. But I can't promise that I will fight sort of to make sure your voices are heard, because I think that's like very important to focus on like the general goals of the school. I think some things like the pandemic has really highlighted. It's like we really need to build a better community, and that's kind of what I strive to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, and good luck with your campaign.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you
Have
so
a good
much.
night.
Thank you. Bye. Okay. Wasn't she fun? Okay, so that was Harshita, and now we're going to meet with people from the Elevate campaign. I think all of Elevate should be here. I don't know if Ryan's gonna turn on his camera or not. Wait a quick second. Love Zoom. So good. Okay, yay, we have Ryan. Hooray. Okay, So hello guys. So first of all, could you all go around, please tell me your name, your pronoun, what position you're running for, and what your hometown is.
I can start us off. My name is Ryan Murphy. I use he, him pronouns. I'm running for a board position within student government, and I'm from Gibsonia, Pennsylvania, which is about 30 minutes north of Oakland.
Awesome.
Hi everyone, my name is Danielle. I use she, her pronouns. I'm from Columbia, Maryland. I think that's everything, yeah.
Hi, I'm Caroline Goodwin. I use she, her pronouns. I'm running for a board position and I'm from Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Philly.
Ooh, outside of Philly. Okay, so another question for all of you, of course. Why are you running? What's important to you? We can start with Ryan again.
Okay, yeah, I'll just hop right in. Basically, I think that I speak for all of us when we say we're running to elevate everyone's college experience here at Pitt. And for me, that means really focusing on civic engagement and community relationships. So first, with civic engagement, I want to work on expanding the work of the Pitt Vote Student Task Force that I've had the opportunity to co-lead for this past year. Really pushing university administrators to have meaningful voting conversations, making more voting resources available on university websites, and expanding on the work we've already done with RA voter engagement training efforts. Also, just like I said, strengthening relationships with the community, specifically with Oakland non-student residents through working with organizations like OPDC to further programs like Adopt a Block.
Thank you. And Danielle.
Yeah, and just adding on to that, really through working with different student groups, planning mental health awareness month, working with different administrators, it has really ignited a passion in me to make sure administration is making students' needs priority in every decision that they're making. And that's really why I'm running for student government board. And to get into my specific initiatives, I really want to make sure mental health resources are more accessible to students, especially being in an online platform and everything, which is why I wish to work with the Mental Health Student Coalition to establish mental liaisons in all student groups. So that way we're meeting students where they are and they actually can interact with mental health resources at a peer level. Because I feel like that's the only way you can really talk about mental health in an effective way.
Amazing.
So I was on the allocations committee last year as a first year student, and I was learning about so many clubs that I didn't even know existed and hearing about all their events. It was so interesting to me. And I found myself going to all my friends that were like looking for fun things to do and being like, oh my gosh, this event's being hosted, or like this club is a thing, like you should totally join. And I found that having a network of people to support you, especially during the pandemic, is so important. So I really want to help people find their home here on campus. And I also want to maintain aspects of the Flex at Pitt model in the future as we keep going. Online is definitely not ideal, even as we found like on this Zoom, we're bumping people all over the place. But I think that being able to hop on a Zoom link if you're ever not on campus, or being able to watch a recorded lecture would make our education that much more accessible.
Awesome. Great answers. Thank you guys. So, a little fun. If you guys had to be a superhero, or maybe not a named superhero, you could just have a superpower, who would you want to be and why? We'll start with Ryan again.
Okay, I just have established myself as the first person to go, but but I would say I can't think of a particular superhero, but I definitely think, especially over these last couple weeks, if I could have any superpower, I'd want to be in two places at once. I just need it for my life. There's so many times where I feel like I've got two Zoom calls at once, two meetings at once, whatever. So yeah, I would want to be in two places.
Personally, I think I used to love Superman, so I think I wouldn't be Superwoman because she's strong, she's good representation, and she can do anything. So I think I would want to be Superwoman for that reason because she's awesome.
So when I was a kid, I loved watching The Incredibles, and I don't know if it's just a redhead thing, but I loved Elastigirl, which I don't even know what I would do with that power, but that was always just my go-to.
I love that. I was always obsessed with Violet because I thought I looked like her, so that was. I'm also a big Incredibles girl.
I totally agree. You look like her.
Thank you. Okay, so another question: what do you guys miss the most from not being in person? Anything from like school, extracurriculars, hugging people? Let me know, Ryan.
Yeah, so I would say the thing that I miss the most is just being able to like congregate with like a very large group of friends. I'm like someone who's very outgoing, likes a lot of conversation, likes to really like make those deep personal connections with other people. And I feel that although Zoom is a great opportunity for us to still keep in contact with people, it's not the same, and there's still a lot of limitations with that. So I'd say miss the most is those deep personal conversations.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've just echoing Brian's sentiments. I definitely miss just having like in-person conversations, seeing people's body language, be able to hug them, be able to like shake hands, just little things like that. I really miss. And really, I just feel, I don't know, I miss just kind of be able to walk around on campus, see friends, and be able to wave and talk. Little interactions like that, I really just wish that we kind of had. And, you know, and COVID didn't really prevent any of that. I think also, just with the pandemic, I really just miss being able to just do little things also, like sitting in and dining in place with my friends, sitting down and having dinner, because that's another way to build social connections. I think those are just kind of the small little things that I miss though, you know, pre-COVID.
So I miss what I like to call squish. Like I love hugs and like there's like, oh my God, there's a picture of me and my friend, one of my sorority sisters, and we're sharing a piece of pizza and our faces are like squished up against each other. And I keep saying that that's what I miss, like those moments. I now every time that I like look back on like certain things, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that like before COVID, like sharing a piece of pizza with someone. But squish, like in general, I miss that.
I miss Squish too. Okay, this question is posed to all three of you, so like just one of you has to answer. But why Elevate? You know, that's your slate name. Why did you choose to be called Elevate?
I think that Elevate just really captures, you know, what we're trying to do. Before we start any meeting, when we're meeting with an org, or I even think I said it when I first started talking to you, is we're all here to elevate other people's college experiences. So I think that the word just perfectly encapsulates our message all around.
Awesome. And then last question for you guys. You know, if you had a summary of you as a person or just what you want people to take away from your campaign, what would you want that to be?
Is this like a everyone question or is this like
Yeah. It's an everyone last go around.
Oh, Ryan, you want to go?
No, go right ahead. We can break the order. You're good.
Okay. To talk about why we as a slate or we as individual.
Individuals as a slate.
Okay. We'll just touch on both. So I think personally, me as a board candidate, on why I really think I would be a great candidate is really through, again, my experience being a student government board, being the wellness committee chair, and again, interacting with and working with student groups. It has really allowed me to see what the real issues are in our communities. And I think that's kind of like the summary of like me as a candidate and why I want to kind of overall be a board candidate, because really through making with student groups, working with different administrators, it has really allowed me to see some of the silent conversations we have behind closed doors, such as regarding like mental health, sexual assault, and even through like little interactions that we have with our friends. I really want to just bring those silent conversations that we have of ourselves with our friend groups to light. And then in terms of elevates, I think Ryan touched on it before, how we wish to elevate Pitt students' experience here.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, and I'll just jump in and say, personally, what I want people to know about me is that I really do care about the students here and I really want to make a change. I'm not just running for this position as something to like put on a resume or something to say that I'm doing, but I actually want to make the meaningful change that's happening. And then everything else, I completely echo what Danielle said.
Yeah, so I love Pitt. I'm actually a third generation Pitt student. Like Pitt is in my blood. And so I just want everybody to love Pitt and find their home here as much as I have. I think that being able to join the student body together, especially during a time that we are all so physically apart is really important. But yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. It was so great to talk to you guys and to learn more. And yeah, good luck on election day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so that was Elevate. And now we're going to hear from Vision. Yes, okay. All of Vision is here. Exciting. Okay. Hello, Vision. As with everyone else, please go around, tell me your name, your pronouns, why you want to run, your major, and your hometown. Actually, why you want to run, that's later. Sorry. Tell me name, major, pronouns, hometown. And we can start with Joseph.
Hi, yeah, you can call me Joe, but thank you for having us, Victoria. It's really nice to meet you and be here with all of you. But yeah, my name is Joe Lansdale. My pronouns are he, him, and I study math and physics.
Hey guys, I'm Nadine. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm an emergency medicine major. Oh, and I'm from Pittsburgh.
Oh, nice.
And my name's Dan Rudy, he, him, his. I'm a fourth-year student studying math, computer science, and economics. And my hometown is also Pittsburgh.
A lot of Pittsburgh folks. Okay, so question that you're expecting, because I just cut it off from the first time. Why do you want to run? And we can start with Joe again.
Yeah, I want to run to address a number of recurring issues on campus. I'm not going to go talk about all different platform stuff, but I've been RA for the past 2 years, and when we talk about mental health issues, when we talk about opening up SGB, making it more approachable and transparent, I've seen a lot of issues on campus, from my residents, from different people I've interacted with, and I just want to be able to address that.
Yeah, so one of the main reasons I want to join is because, we've been in this pandemic and it's affected me personally, and I'm also an RA, so I've seen how that's impacted my residents, and I want to be able to, help and alleviate some stressors in life, with finances, and mental health, and so that's why I'm running.
Yeah, and I'm running. I've spent the past 4 years of my college career in leadership positions, both on and off campus. I've enjoyed that experience tremendously, and I really just want to continue that, bring it back to campus, and keep representing the student voice and fighting for change wherever it's needed.
Awesome. Okay, well, everyone, if you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be and why? Start with Joe.
I would have dinner with FDR. He's a great hero of mine. Unfortunately, we actually have to leave after this question. I'm so sorry to cut it off, but everybody else can go.
Oh, they're dashing. Okay. Well, I guess my one question, I'm sorry if I got you guys excited about the dinner thing, but why Vision? Why is your platform called Vision? I know you got to go. I'm so sorry. Joe or Dan or Nadine, I will make you take it.
Anybody who wants to chime in here is great, but we have a vision for how we want SGB to look, and an SGB that hears from the students, that where people feel comfortable approaching SGB. That's why it's called Vision.
Well, I will let them go then.
We're so sorry. We don't mean to dash. Thank you for having us. All right, goodbye, Victoria.
Bye. Nice to meet you all.
Bye.
Okay. Whew. What a whirlwind. Okay, so that was Vision. Now we'll meet with Daniel. And Daniel, I'm not sure how to pronounce your last name, so I don't want to get it wrong, so please do.
Oh yeah, just Daniel Tamalo. Fine, Tamalo.
Daniel Tamalo. Okay, awesome. Well, please tell me, you just told me your name, but tell me your pronouns, what your major is, your hometown.
Yeah, sure.
And what are you running for?
Sorry, why am I running?
Or what position are you running for?
Oh, okay. And I just want to say thank you for running this and hosting. It's
Oh my goodness. I
Thank you
love to
so
meet
much.
all of you. I get to meet fantastic people like you.
Of course, and I get to meet fantastic people like you.
Oh,
So my name is Daniel Tamalo. I use he, him pronouns. I am a political science and public and professional writing double major. I am a first year and I am from Marlborough, Massachusetts, which is about 35-40 minutes west of Boston, depending how fast you drive.
oh. Um, real quick, diversion. Where are you living now on campus?
Right now I'm in Sutherland West, floor 7. And honestly, I love Upper Campus. I know everyone else is on Lower Campus, and I know we're a bit far from the action, but I like that. It's like a walk home after you go down to Lower Campus to study.
Listen, I was a Sutherland West girl. I was a campus gal. I get it. I get it. I can't say I enjoy the walk, but I do enjoy it. So
I'd probably prefer the shuttle, let's be honest.
that's true. Love to see it. So why do you want to run?
Yeah, so I'm primarily running for hall council, or for, oh my goodness, for student government board, because I want to continue the work that I've been able to start as hall council president of Sutherland West. I want to be able to advocate for the concerns and the of the people of the class of 2024 and the class of 2025, the incoming class, especially. A lot of other people that run for student government board and for president are current sophomores and current juniors that will be advocating for the concerns of juniors and seniors of next year. But me personally, I want to run to make sure that the voices and the concerns of the sophomores and first years next year aren't put under the bus. I want to make sure that everybody can be able to use student government board as a springboard for their concerns and to make change in the university. And I want to be the person that they can trust with that information and what they can trust will make a difference.
That's so fantastic. So I don't know if this question is gonna be phrased weird or not, but what was your middle school like phase? Like, what were you obsessed with in middle school? Like, what kid were you in middle school?
My middle school phase. Ooh, oh no. I was a very different child back then.
We
My middle school phase, the only thing that's really coming to mind immediately, it was when I was still playing baseball, and I played baseball all through my childhood until probably midway through high school when my town ball ran out. And every summer, I would get a buzz cut on my head, just go bald.
Okay.
And I don't really know why, but I did. And it was good luck for my teammates to rub my head before every game. And that was my one contribution, because admittedly I was terrible at baseball. So I guess that would be my phase. Yeah, that was my one contribution, getting bald. And I guess I'll own it.
That it's like you're one of those fixtures on campuses, how they'll say like, oh, kids rub this before finals. It's good luck. You were that for the baseball team. That's super awesome. Another fun question. Don't know if you've been to IHOP before. I would like to assume you have, but IHOP, Waffle House, whatever. What is your order? What would you get?
I've been to IHOP probably once. Yeah, I know. I'm not a breakfast eater.
Like, didn't you have to go after events and stuff? Where would they take you? Why were you playing?
We went to Dairy Queen after games. That was our shtick.
Okay, then Dairy Queen. What would you get?
Well, okay. IHOP blueberry waffles. Blueberry waffles are the way to go, even if I've only been like twice. Dairy Queen, I mean, Blizzards, they change every time. Personally, I was always a fan of like the chocolate, the Oreo ones. Those always hit after a baseball game. So I'd love to go back to those days, but now we're here.
I mean, Dairy Queens are still here. We can still get Dairy Queens at IHOP, thankfully.
That's true. Or Millie's.
Or Millie's. So I would say, again, if people look back on this election this time next year, this time in like 5 years, if this is a monumental election, as I know it will be, what would you want people to say or remember about you and your campaign?
So, how do I want people to remember my campaign? Well, you see, I'm not really a typical board member, person running. most people that are running or, have been involved in first year council, have been involved in student government board before, or have been involved in the student government board committees. I have not had that opportunity, but I want people to remember me as the person that was able to win a board position, without having to do that, because I don't want to just fall into that one pipeline and that be gifted the opportunity. And don't get me wrong, many people in that pipeline have done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But I just want to be able to show people that you don't have to have been involved in first year council in the first 2 weeks of your college career and then have that opportunity be gifted. I want people to see that no matter what you're doing or where you're from, you can make a difference and you can make it onto student government board and you can, impact the lives of your other students. So I think that's what I'd like people to take from my campaign.
Well, that's fantastic. That's so heartwarming. As someone who also didn't come from a traditional SGB background, that's really sweet. So thank you so much for being here today. And thanks for letting everyone meet you. It was so great.
Yeah, of course. Great to be here. And thank you for hosting again. Seriously.
Thank you so much. And good luck in a few weeks.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Okay. So that was Daniel. What a treat. And now we have the Betterment slate. I feel like I'm saying better. I feel like it's almost a tongue twister whenever I say betterment. I feel like I'm saying it wrong every time. So forgive me if it, oh gosh. Oh, I was freezing for a second. Okay. So Brennan and Jack, there we go. Tell me your names, your pronouns, your major, and your hometown, and what position you're running for as well.
All right. Hi, my name is Brennan Conway. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a junior econ and poli-sci major. I hail from the humble town of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I'm running for a board position.
Hi, my name's Jack Rotolo. I'm a freshman here, and my major is politics and philosophy. I'm from outside Philadelphia, 45 minutes, a place called Chester Springs, Pennsylvania. And yeah, did I say my pronouns? I think I got that right. I say he, him, I think, I don't know.
Question. Everyone, why are you running? What's important to you? Why are you doing this?
I decided to run over winter break. So after, 1 or 2 weeks removed from the end of the fall semester, I really took some time to reflect on where we had gone over the past year. I mean, 2020 was a difficult year for everyone. And I think it really impacted our university experience, both academically, socially, with our mental health. So after thinking about it and sort of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel with vaccines on the way, I was like, I want to run for student government board so I can really make an impact on how Pitt transitions out of the pandemic, how we can learn from these experiences to make Pitt a better institution. And that alludes to why we chose Betterment, but I'll let Jack answer now.
Yeah, so a main reason why I wanted to run was because of, I want to make sure the focus is definitely on the Pitt student. The Pitt student isn't just a member of this club or that club or this class or that class, but it's all of us, all 20,000, or so undergraduates. And I wanted to make sure that the focus is never lost on the Pitt student. That's like a huge central philosophy to our platform, especially my key initiatives and goals as well, just to make sure the focus remains on the Pitt student. And, the reason why I want to run is so I can be, represent those Pitt students and have be responsible board member that speaks to their voice.
Awesome. I might have had some audio issues before. I hope it's all right now. Okay, great. Sorry if you couldn't hear my first question. But next question let's say we go to an amusement park, your class goes to an amusement park. Where can I find you? Are you riding the biggest roller coaster? Are you playing that basketball shooty game? Are you doing the like trick arcade games that's like impossible to win? Are you eating funnel cake? What are you doing?
I'm a big wooden roller coaster guy. I just, the steel roller coasters are fun, with the loops and everything, but it's nothing like an old school wooden roller coaster. The sound, the lights, it's just a fun time.
Absolutely.
So I'm not a big amusement park person, but I do like water parks. They're a lot of fun, but I'm going to stick to the main question. So amusement park, if we're at one, if they have a Ferris wheel, I'm not a huge person for all the rides, but I'll be on the Ferris wheel with funnel cake or something like that. So that's where you'll find me.
Awesome. I mean, not to cut out water parks, if we did have a water park, what would you be doing? The tubes, the splashing each other, the wave pool?
I have no clue what they call the rides there, but you'll find me on one of the tubes going in one of those big swirly
the big funnels.
Yeah, one of the funnels.
Absolutely. Okay, so this question didn't get fully answered last time. So if you could have dinner with anyone, alive or dead, who would it be and why?
Yeah, were you answering, Jack?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one. There's so many people I look up to and so many people I'd like to have dinner with. But something that I think would be really interesting is to go really far back in like my family tree somewhere, like great grandfather, just like see, where I came from, where my family came from, because I think, that's something that sort of gets lost in history. We remember the big names, you sort of forget random people, even if they are in your family. So I think that would be really interesting.
Exactly.
So I thought about this while Brennan was talking, and a person I idolize the most would probably be Teddy Roosevelt. Not FDR, but Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah, a lot of Roosevelts tonight.
Yeah, all right. Few reasons. A, he's a super outdoorsman. He lived in South Dakota for a while, frontier guy. I don't know. I love nature and I love the outdoors in the West, so that's a plus. And then also I just really respect him for his progressive platform in the 1910s and whatnot. So yeah, I just idolize him. So I think having dinner with him would be absolutely amazing.
Awesome. I know you guys sort of alluded to this earlier, but why Betterment? Why did you choose that name?
Yeah, so our whole platform is around making Pitt better for everyone. So we really want to make our collegiate experience better. We want to make the academic experience better. We want to make the student body better. And I think Jack came up with the name. I actually had to check in a dictionary to make sure it was a real word, but it's a great word. I think it really sums up everything we want to do. We want to make our university better.
It's a fantastic word. I don't know if Jack wanted to add anything to that.
I think Brennan captured it perfectly. We just believe that Pitt can be better, and we want it to be better, and we think it can. We think our platform can better it. So that's why we're Betterment.
Awesome. Well, last question. What do you think makes you guys different or special? I mean, everyone wants to make the school better, but what makes you guys special? Or what do you think that you can bring that's different and unique?
I'll go here. So, most people who run for student government board are going to be, or traditionally are going to be people who have prior experience with student government board, years and years of being on committees and whatnot, or being a board member, or just in that certain thing. I'm a freshman, like I said earlier. So obviously I don't have that, but I believe I have a unique experience along with thousands of other first-year students, because, Zoom college and pandemic college is the only college that we know. We don't know any other college. So I think it provides a unique experience because we all want to go back to normal, but for us first year students, what is normal exactly? Because we don't know. We don't know what a regular college is. So I think it provides us a unique experience. I think, you know, me being one of the two freshmen running, it gives us a experience that we believe that would help, you know, the SGB and help the university better its mission. And also, not even relating to pandemic college, having first year students involved in student government board, and it provides a way for us to represent everyone in the university, including first year students, because I feel like oftentimes they're not fully represented and they don't have a voice. And I believe that we should break down those barriers. And that's basically what I believe makes me a little bit unique in the field.
Yeah, and I just want to add one thing. Our slate, we have real proposals. You know, it's kind of easy to go into grand thinking of all these ways we could make Pitt better. But we really narrowed it down to things that we think we can actually accomplish, and we have specific ideas. So I'm not going to go through the platform now because I know the next group is up, but we have tangible and achievable goals, you know, that we can implement as board members next year. So in addition to Jack's experience as a freshman and mine as someone who's been around for a little while but is still sort of an outsider to SGB, I think we have a lot of unique perspective to offer and good, strong proposals to bring to SGB.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here, and best of luck on the campaign. It's so great to meet you guys and learn more about your whole slate.
Thank you.
Victoria.
Okay, so that was the Betterment slate. And now we have our last slate, Bright Side. Unless I did that wrong. Hello. Okay, so it definitely is Bright Side. Yes, good. Okay. Hello everyone. I think this is our first four-person slate that we're seeing up here. So a lot of people to get through. You know my first question. Please tell me your name, your pronouns, major, hometown, and what position you're running for.
I'll start off. We'll go in the order because we present at so many clubs. We'll go in the order that we do when we speak at those clubs. It makes the most sense to us at this point. My name is Tyler. I'm a junior. I use he, him pronouns. I'm running for president, and I am studying politics and philosophy and finance. And I'll popcorn to Aboli.
Everyone, my name's Aboli Kesba. I use she, her pronouns. I'm studying neuroscience and psychology. I'm originally from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm running for a position on board alongside Nikita and Matt.
Hi, I'm Matt Moore. I'm a sophomore running for a board position alongside Nikita and Aboli and Tyler. I am from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and my pronouns are he, him, his.
Hi guys, I'm Nikita. I'm a sophomore. I'm majoring in political science and history. I use she, her pronouns. I'm from Irvine, California, and I am running for board along with Matt and Aboli.
Awesome. Well, okay, you know a question. Why do you want to run? Why are you running? Of course, start with Tyler.
That is an excellent question, Victoria, and I totally didn't see that one coming. Very curveball. I think, you know, I share a very similar sentiment with the rest of the people running on my slate, but really we just want to be able to actually center the student experience and really listen to the needs of students and meet them where they're at. I think it's interesting that a lot of slates have come up here thus far and said, you know, we really value student feedback. We're taking the student feedback into, you know, the entire campaign. And, you know, obviously we've been doing the same. Every time we go to student organizations, we ask for their feedback, but I think we're unique in that we're the only slate that can say that over the past 3 years for Blaine and I, over the past 2 years, Nikita and Matt, we've actually been doing that, right? We didn't just start getting student feedback at the start of this campaign. We've been doing it for the past 3 years. I'm fortunate enough to have been able to serve on the first year council as a freshman. Was a sophomore, I was the chair of the Community and Governmental Relations Committee. And this year, or last year, I ran and won a position on the board where I served as vice president and chief of cabinet. And so I've really always been, working with student organizations, being proactive, going to student organizations meetings. I even go to the engineering council's dean hour to hear what the engineering school is up to. I try to be as approachable as possible and really bridge the gap that I think a lot of candidates think that they're trying to bridge in terms of, SGB isn't accessible. Well, I can say that, over the past 3 years, I have done my part to make SGB a lot more accessible. And I'm really looking forward to being able to continue so much of the work that I've done in these past 3 years and see a lot of my initiatives and projects into fruition. But without going into those specific initiatives, I want to pass it off to Aboli so she can share why she's running.
So similarly, I've been on allocation since my freshman year. I was a liaison my freshman year. I was the vice chair of the committee my sophomore year. And this year I get to serve as the chair, which is probably the best experience that I've had at Pitt. I get to see so many student groups come in every Thursday night to come talk about their initiatives as students and as members of different organizations. I've seen so many different experiences brought to me on Pitt's campus, and I think the greatest thing that I've learned from that is I'm so impressed with what my peers can do on campus. And with that, seeing how much work that students are putting into their school, I want to give them something back from that. I want to give them the resources to continue contributing to the Pitt experience. Every person that I've met through allocations, just in my friend group, they're all involved in different organizations and they're all doing something for their organizations. By being a part of different organizations on campus, everyone is providing new students that are coming, transfer students with opportunities to get involved in different diverse experiences. And they're doing that without enough resources from the school. And so for me, I want to run because I want to support student activities. I want to support the students that are doing so much already for the school by giving back to them so that we can continue to support the Pitt experience for new students. And with that, I'll pass it to Matt.
Sure. Thank you, Aboli. I'm running because I want to bring a diversity of perspective and experiences and involvement on campus to student government board. So I have been involved in student government board since like the first couple weeks here at Pitt. I was selected to serve on the first year council, which I had so much fun on. And then I also simultaneously, I was a member of the Community and Governmental Relations Committee with Nikita and under Tyler's chairmanship. And this year I got to serve on the elections committee for a bit, which was also really fun. Get to see how all the elections are facilitated and how they work and what all the work that goes into it. But I'm not just involved in SGB. I'm involved heavily in other extracurriculars such as Greek life. I've been a brother of Delta Chi for a year now. I've served in different positions within the fraternity, which has given me a large network which has given me many networking opportunities. And I've also served on the executive board of the Pitt College of Democrats since my first semester here at Pitt. I've been the political director. And that led me into last semester, which I was a co-founder of the Pitt for Biden group, which did so much work here on campus in engaging students over the course of last summer into the fall and of course into election day. So I bring this wide range of different experiences that I think are necessary to sit on the student government board, because it always helps to have that extra voice in the room that has a different perspective. And I feel like because of the large networking that I have, I can be that voice for so many people that may think that SGB is just like distant from them, or think admin is just some distant, far away vessel of change. I want to make SGB like mainstream and bring it into everyday people's lives here at Pitt. And Nikita, take it away.
In the same vein as Matt and Tyler and Aboli as well, I've been part of SGB since like the first few weeks here, on campus. Freshman, I was honored to serve as a member of the first year council. And then I was under Tyler's chairmanship for Committee on Governmental Relations. This year, I'm also honored to serve as the vice chair for that same committee. But aside from that, the experience that I offer, plus my experience in SGB, I think there's just an immense love that I have for the community of Pitt students. I think I can safely claim I am the student farthest from home when it comes to Pitt. I'm from California. I fly around 8 to 10 hours every time I come back here or go back home. But when I first came here, I was just extremely lonely, and I really found a home in all the Pitt students, plus SGB as well. I think I bring that immense love and just like this honor and this immense like adoration and like I guess just awe of the Pitt students that we have currently on campus. And I want to do everything I can to serve them. And I think the first step is making SGB more inclusive and basically having students like me, Tyler, Bolu, and Matt, who have the experience and the means and the knowledge to serve all the students as best as we can. But yeah, just overall those reasons.
Wow, I do think you are probably the furthest. That's crazy. I also didn't know it was like an 8-hour plane ride. That's crazy. I'm sure you were very happy for that week-long Thanksgiving break. Okay, so question for all of you. What is the scariest thing you have ever done? And don't say this. I know some of your answers.
I'll start. Honestly, the first couple of weeks at Pitt were, like, for me, very scary freshman year. Like, I was petrified because I didn't, and this is going to get really personal, but like, I didn't really click with my floor of my dorm hall. Didn't find like that first immediate friend because I went through all these roommate debacles. And I think, and I would always like look out my window and like walk down the street and just see like people like freshmen like hoarding in groups, and like I was like, oh my god, like they already have a friend group and it's day 3. Like it's still a week. And so, but I think that just shows you how much can change, because now I don't want to leave. Like I just have all these different pockets of interest and vessels of change and just outlets of just such amazing, creative, talented, unique people that, I mean, it took time to get there, but compared to that first few weeks, which were definitely the scariest time of my young adulthood, I'm just so grateful and thankful for this place.
I can go next, I guess. Not sort of similar, but also in my time at Pitt, I would say one of the scariest things that I've done for myself, because I was like sort of pushing myself and what I wanted to do was actually rush. When I came to Pitt, I didn't really think I was sort of Greek material. I didn't think that I was that, stereotypical, frat guy. But my freshman year, I had made a lot of close friends, but I wanted to make a lot more friends, especially a lot more guys friends. And going through the Greek rush experience was so terrifying for me, because you really have to put yourself out there. You have to go to so many different events. You have to meet a lot of people. You have to put on a brave face, and you also have to be vulnerable, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to just admit someone who just like can only talk about like how the weather is, right? You have to get a little personal, and you have to be able to put yourself out there. And that can be hard. And it was hard for me, but I was so grateful that I found such an amazing community of guys in the fraternity that I rushed. Like Beta Theta Pi, honestly, like I can say without a doubt, is one of the best decisions that I've made, deciding to rush Greek life. It was one of the best decisions I made. Like I found such a community, such a brotherhood. I've cultivated so many friendships. I live in a house in South Oakland with 3 of my fraternity brothers. Like the fraternity flag is behind me, for goodness sake. Like I have found such a community and such a place in Greek life that I didn't really think I was going to. But like I said, it was really hard. Like putting yourself out there can be hard sometimes, but I was so grateful and so happy that I did, because I ended up where I am today.
I can go next. I guess just for me overall, choosing Pitt as my final university was one of the scariest things I've done. Like all of my friends are choosing like University of Texas, or they're going somewhere in California. And I was like the only one, coming all the way to the East Coast. And first of all, I've never experienced snow in my life. So I'm coming over here. I don't know anyone. I've never seen snow. Yeah, so it was a very just overall terrifying experience. I mean, the process to come here was terrifying too. I had to drive up by myself in my little Prius. It was an 18-hour drive from Texas up to Pittsburgh, and it was probably the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Not the scariest, but the worst. And I get here, I don't have any friends. I've never met my roommates face to face. In fact, I've never actually stepped foot on campus. I end up choosing Pitt from online videos, talking to people, etc. So this is my first time overall in like an East Coast city. But now that I'm here, as we've all said multiple times, I found an amazing community. I found SGB, I found great friends. But overall, taking that first step to actually choose this place was definitely the most terrifying thing I've ever done.
Okay, I'll start on a deeper note and then I'll end with a light, fun story about something I'm scared of that most people would love. But the first most scary thing that I've ever done coming to Pitt was applying for Blue and Gold. That interview for Blue and Gold Society, you sit in front of like 10 adults who are all high achieving human beings that have gone through Pitt, and you sit there having to talk about yourself. And I don't think I've ever been more scared for my life sitting in front of those human beings. But I did not realize at that point, being a first year student, that it is so easy to talk about the things you love. Like, I sat there thinking I didn't have enough experience to be in Blue and Gold, but the questions they asked you were just about what experiences have prepared you for this moment. Why do you think you'll be a good Blue and Gold Society ambassador? And honestly, a lot of that came from SGB, because most of what I love about this school is learning about the students through allocation. So being able to see all the things that students have been doing on campus kind of led me into loving Pitt as much as I do. And then sitting in front of that big group of people during that interview may have been the scariest thing I've ever done, but also one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And then a fun story. I am so scared of animals. I am not an animal person. My roommate loves squirrels and rodents and whatnot, but I am so afraid of dogs and mice and other things. There's a dog that lives right next to us, and whenever he barks, it scares the actual poop out of me. I can't do animals. Dogs scare me, cats scare me, mice scare me, but I just thought, since we all talked about something a little serious, it'd be fun to end on a little fun note. But I'm sorry if you love animals. I still like them from a distance.
This was very deep. This is supposed to be a little fun thing. Like, oh my gosh, the roller coaster's scary. So that, but still very great stories. Thank you guys for being vulnerable. Well, an actual fun one. I hope you guys don't twist it to be something deep. If you were to be a Just Dance, or one of the songs from Just Dance were to be like your anthem, describe your life, what would it be? It can be from any of the Just Dances. And if you don't know any of the Just Dances, okay, then tell me your favorite song.
Can someone remind me of a song? Because I haven't played it in like 10 years.
I can start. I have two just that came to mind.
Okay.
In Chem Lab, freshman year, I don't know why this dance just like always came to mind when I got nervous, but do you guys remember Toxic from one of the Just Dances? That dance and that song like consistently played through my mind every time I messed up at chem. So I don't know. I feel like that's like my anthem for freshman year.
Okay, I have one. This one's kind of weird. I don't know if anyone will actually know this song, but She Wolf by Shakira. I don't remember which Just Dance.
Of course people know.
I was obsessed with that. I think I still have it memorized. I'm not going to do it. You can't pay me to do it. I will never do it again. But I used to be obsessed with that. I would literally just play that one song like over and over again. But yeah, that's my anthem.
I think mine would have to be Rasputin. So it's funny because I wasn't part of the fun gym class in the 5th grade. The fun gym class, who was with Miss Picker, I went to Pine Richland. Some of the other candidates were running, I think Ryan also went to the same high school as me, but in the 5th grade, the gym teacher, Miss Picker, was the fun one because they got to go into the exercise room and play Wii games, and they got to play Just Dance. And I never got to do it except for like 2 times when I snuck in and played with their class. But my favorite song that I used to do was Rasputin because you really had to get into it and you had to like do the squats and everything. And you know, there's some people play Just Dance and they're just like, yeah, I'm just gonna move my hand because it's just the Wii remote. Like, that's not how I play. I get fully into it. Like, I'm not just gonna sit there and move my hand. Like, I'm gonna do the whole dance.
I agree. I have to agree. Matt, I fear that you do not know a Just Dance song.
I think I remember. I think I remember doing YMCA. It's slowly drifting from my mind up to the front. And it just, it reminds me of good times going to the Y, I guess.
Okay, cool. Good, great answer. All right, so just one of you has to answer, can be any of you. But why did you choose the name Brightside for your slate name?
I'll go. So it was over winter break and, we were just shooting, back and forth over FaceTime or Zoom. I think it was Zoom. Tyler sent the invite and, I was just funny you asked that because just earlier today I was looking at like the original document we had started, just the original document with first thing we thought of was, let's try to think of a name. And we kept hitting these like really like not generic, but generic names back and forth, and just very like milquetoast, like not very engaging names, like nothing, like probably ones that have been used before. And then I think it wasn't just me. I think it was me and Nikita. Like, I don't know how it just happened, but like we had a name, like so we had something like it was like New Beginnings or like New Horizons or something. And then like my mind immediately just thought of Mr. Brightside, the song. And I'm like, the strong Pitt connection that has. But then wait, if you drop the Mr., it's Brightside. And like, that's so like bright and airy and optimistic and hopeful and positive. And I remember saying it, and maybe Nikita said it before me or right after me, just muttered it. And then I didn't think we'd actually run with it because it was like, it's kind of, I don't know, it's not very adult, I don't know. It's a little bit childish, but we ran with it. And it is a little bit like, it's not as like grand of a name or anything, but I think it's very relatable, and especially for these times and especially for the school, because Mr. Brightside has such a strong place in Pitt students' hearts.
That's, I'll let Kylie go.
Yeah, I mean, we just wanted to meet the moment, right? I mean, we've had such a hard past year. Like, it has been insanely difficult. And I think all of us, even though all the participants here could share their own individual story of just how terrible the pandemic has been, how it's affected their classes, their grades, and things like that. And it's not like we wanted to devalue that, but we wanted to meet this moment because we know that there's so much hope and optimism to look forward to. We have vaccines coming. The Pitt community has been excellent in terms of our peer institutions. Like, we have been so good about trying to keep cases down. And we wanted to meet the moment where there's sort of this turning point, right? We're starting to see a little bit of hope and a little bit of optimism going back. And we wanted to encapsulate that in our campaign message, right? It's not just about having a vision. It's about being able to actually have some vision to go along with your vision, right? Vision is kind of vague, but we think Brightside captures the moment, captures the reasoning that we want to have some positive influence going into the future. And I think reflects, a sort of need for all of us as students to look to next semester and to look to next academic year in a positive light and actually look and see if we can make some real productive changes.
Yeah, I think it's just to close real quick. I think Brightside is about having an ultimate goal. It's not just about like, doing this or like being real vague or ambiguous about something. Like, we are so committed because we miss the times of a year ago and so many months ago, like when we first came to Pitt. So it's all about reaching that end goal, and that is absolutely where we want to be and get.
Awesome. I do love that it came from Mr. Brightside kind of at first. That's a fun little fact. Like, I definitely won't forget that now, because I'm like, oh, the Mr. Brightside. No, that's fun. Okay, so last question, and just quick, I'll go around to all of you. Why do you think that you should be on the board next year, or why do you think you should be president next year? And we'll close out with Tyler. So, Matt, go first.
As I said, as I answered that one question real vulnerably, like how I came here and like just felt so like sheltered and alone and like really unsure if I'd even stay or like where I'd find my place. And then it just slowly, like, my Pitt experience got better and better and better and more involved and more involved and more involved. And it wasn't just because of me, it's because of all the amazing people that I was introduced to along the way. Like, for the first semester I got involved in, because I've always been politically active. So I dipped my toe into Pitt Dems and then gone on the e-board. And then I decided to take a leap of faith and rush a fraternity the next semester, last spring, where I've met just some of the best people I know. And then getting involved in SGB and getting on a committee, and then going into this year with so much high hopes and aspirations, and then kind of being limited with the state of these last 2 semesters thus far virtually. I want to continue building on that experience. And it's not just about me, it's about putting something out from that experience and giving back to this amazing community that has presented me with so much. And I think Student Government Board is that ultimate goal. And then, once I'm there, if elected, it's about reaching that place of the bright side of where we want to get back to, because we know that's what Pitt can be.
I can go.
I can go.
Oh, no, Nikita, go ahead.
Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, there's love for the community, obviously, but every student says they love Pitt. But aside from that, I think it's just like this repeated dedication that we and I have shown specifically over the past 2 years, right? Like everyone says they love Pitt, but uniquely our slate has shown every year that we've been here, we've dedicated ourselves to crafting initiatives, to crafting different panels, creating, housing workshops, creating immigration panels that I've done with CGR over the past 2 years, right? Like we can say all we want, but I've shown over and over again that I'll put the work in and the dedication and the time in as well, right? Like SGB is one of my first priorities on campus. I've been doing it literally every single week since I've been here. FYC, CGR, these take up hours of my time every single month, every single week. And I feel like the reason we all deserve to be on board, especially this next coming year, because it's going to be a lot more difficult going back to normal, is the fact that we have shown over and over again that we're willing to put the work in and ensure that every single Pitt student gets access to the best resources, which is why our initiatives are solely crafted towards creating a better and more unique just overall experience in the next year or so that we're recovering from COVID. Just overall, I think just dedication and the time that we've put in is enough, or just a huge reason as to why we deserve to be on board.
I think for me, like I've said countless amount of times, allocations has been the best experience. I've poured my heart and soul into that committee because I just love what it does for students on campus. And the one thing that I've learned from it is being able to put myself in the shoes of my peers. People have had different experiences with the world than I have had. And being able to put into their shoes, experience things that I haven't experienced, and make decisions in their best interest. And I think that I've done that countless amount of times with the committee, and I want to take it a step further as a member on the board. So hopefully my experiences from allocations committee for the past 3 years have prepared me enough to be able to make decisions in the best interest of all of my peers, regardless of background, because I can guarantee that I will be able to see everything, every issue from your point of view, because I've learned to do that for the past 3 years. So I'll pass it up to Tyler so I don't take up too much more time.
I don't know what to say other than simply put, I haven't got the SGB bug out of me. You'd think after 3 years, spending countless hours going to public meeting every Tuesday, holding office hours, holding committee meetings, working with admin, working with administration, going to dean's hours, like I said, of all the different schools and really meeting where students at, you'd think it would be so tiring to the point that like, your senior year, don't you want to relax? To me, I haven't lost the SGB bug, which is so weird to say. Like for as stressed out as I get about school, I always look forward to SGB public meetings every week. And I have found such a deep sense of fulfillment in doing all the work that I have, because I know for a fact students have come up to me or students have mentioned about all the amazing things that Student Government Board does. And even if they don't know that it's something that I did by name, if a student engages in civic engagement or gets civic advising, they don't have to know it was me. I'm just happy enough knowing that they were able to get something that they wouldn't have been able to do before. And that brings me a deep sense of fulfillment. And really, I just want to reflect on what we said before. Like our slate is super dedicated to the Pitt experience. We've been there for the past 3 years, Aboli and I, Nikita and Matt, for the past 2 years. We are the only slate that can really say that we've been invested in Student Government Board, that we've actually been centering the needs. And it's not just a point of trying to get elected. We've actually talked the talk, right? We've walked the walk. And we don't think it's really time to put blind faith in people who don't have the experience to see this through. Like we're still in the middle of a pandemic. It is still an uncertain environment. And we think it's about time that we put faith in trusted hands and people that can actually see everything that they have through. But we are just, I think I speak on behalf of everyone here that like, we're just really passionate about really centering students' needs and making the Pitt experience the best for everyone.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. It was so great to meet you guys and hang out with you guys. So thank you and best of luck in 2 weeks. All right. Okay, so that was the bright side slate. And with that, we officially met all the candidates. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you got to learn more, got to put a face to the Instagram pages and learn a bit more past their platform and a bit more about the people behind them. So just as a reminder, you can vote for these lovely people on March 2nd. Polls are open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And Olivia has put in the chat the presidential debate registration. That is next week. Our website, and also the link to how to vote on March 2nd. So please exercise your right to vote. you know, it impacts your life as a student. They are the student government board after all. But again, thank you so much for watching and for all the incredible people for coming out today and being here. Thank you guys so much.